Welcome to WiredToHunt's Whitetail How-Tos, where we provide a step-by-step tutorial for one important deer hunting task. Today I want to talk about the art of cutting the perfect shooting lane. And this is something that's kind of underappreciated. It's a passing thought that, oh yeah, let's cut a couple holes in here. But there really is a knack to doing it the right way at the right times. I think shooting lanes are all about balance. You want to be able to get shots. You also don't want to be spotted. That's this kind of weaving path you have to kind of navigate. The first thing to think about is, when are you cutting your shooting lanes? Is it in the off season or is it during the hunting season? You're going to approach things very differently based on that. If I'm creating shooting lanes in the off season, you can get aggressive with it. If this was in season and I was coming in here to hunt tonight, I'm gonna be very conservative with what I open up. Because when you're in season, you've got to think about the noise you're making while cutting. You need to think about how much time you're spending on the ground or making a bunch of movement while you're up in the tree, when any minute now, there might be deer moving through. The next thing you need to think about is cover. The more you cut, the more likely things are going to open up to where you're hunting. So what I want to do is open up enough spots that you can shoot through, but never sacrifice the cover in the tree. So I'm always going to be more aggressive with the limbs I cut down low at deer level, much less aggressive with the stuff that's right up by you in the tree. I'm okay with problems at my height because those problem sticks actually help me stay hidden from the deer. The third thing you have to be thinking about is what happens when everything comes crashing down to the ground. If I'm in the off season, either leave things where it lays, or I might move things around to be in a strategic location, take a couple limbs and block a trail that's out of range. That's one way to use your cut limbs. In season, I'm not going to mess with anything if I have to touch it. If I have to touch something, I'm wearing gloved hands. I'm being very careful about my scent. I don't want to grab a bunch of stuff and then leave it off in the woods where deer are going to walk by and smell it. Off season, I don't care. They're going to smell us here. It's not a big deal. So one other thing to be thinking about is, how many lanes do you want? At a minimum, I would like to make sure I have at least 2 options to my main travel routes. I'd like to make sure I've got a option A lane, but then also a backup. Oftentimes it's hard to get that perfect shot when they first come through there. Or if you're trying to stop them in place, if they don't stop at that first opening, I want to have at least one other option to stop them. So there really is an art here. You're constantly weighing the pros and cons of every cut you make. Is this going to give me a better shot opportunity? Or is it going to get me spooked because the deer is going to smell me? Is this going to give me a better shot? Or is this going to open me up and every deer that passes by sees me? Constantly weigh those balances. Be much more careful in season. Be more aggressive in the off season. Be thoughtful when you're cutting lanes. You're going to be better positioned for a shot and staying hidden in your tree next time. If you want more information like this, be sure to tune into the Wired Hunt podcast or the Wired Hunt Foundation's mini-series. We've got new deer hunting know-how every week. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.